Hey there, it's Steve from Serious Keto, and this is the Week 1 update for February's 30-day challenge, which for me is Inspiratory Muscular Strength Training, or as I will refer to it going forward, IMST. The first thing that I have to mention on this update is sort of my disappointment / utter lack of surprise that the price went up on these little inspiratory, IMST breathing apparatuses. It was $14.95 when I bought it. Over the past week, the price has been anywhere from like $30 to $36. And I think this is an individual seller. They're one of those, what do they call it? I forget the name of it, when you're fulfillment by Amazon, which honestly is something I ought to be doing. I should have bought 100 of these, probably from China for $1 a piece or less, and then sold them on Amazon. Same thing with that pogo whisk. Really, I got to start thinking of these things in advance. But anyhow, I hope that a number of you were able to get this at a decent price. But regardless, $30, if the benefits turn out to be true, the ones that I talked about in that first episode that I'll link to right up here, if those things come true, $30 to me, I think, is still a pretty good deal. So let's hop right into the exciting stuff, which is the measurables. Now, I had taken my blood pressure fairly consistently throughout the year 2021 and then daily in 2022. That way I could tell you how the lack of drinking was affecting my blood pressure. Well, in January, which I'm going to call my baseline for IMST, my blood pressure averaged 126/88. Over the last 9 days, since I've started doing IMST, 122/82. And in fact, yesterday, my score wasn't quite as good today. Today it was like it was right around that 182 or 122/82. But yesterday, 120/77. It is the first time since I've had my Withings blood pressure cuff that I've managed to get the app to turn green. That was pretty cool. Now, the question you might be having, or the thought that you might be thinking, is, well, could it be just the drinking, giving up alcohol that got you to this blood pressure, that it just continues to get better? Yeah, it's possible, although this is a pretty dramatic change over the course of just 1 week. So I'm hoping that it's due to the IMST. But let me pitch the question out to those of you that have been doing it along with me, especially those of you who don't drink alcohol. Have you seen any sort of an improvement in your blood pressure scores yet? Let me know down in the comments below. Now, in terms of some of the other supposed benefits of this, the mental acuity, memory, I don't know that I've experienced anything like that, and I think perhaps it might be a little bit early to be thinking that I'm going to see some of those things. In terms of sleep, I haven't checked the scorecard on my Withings sleep mat over the past week in terms of like breathing disruptions or anything like that. I've been sleeping well, I know that much, and the way that I gauge that is, and I think I may have mentioned this in a previous video, I keep a bottle of water next to my bed for if I wake up, I have a drink. And it used to be, back when I was drinking alcohol, that I would drain that thing probably 2 or 3 times a night. So I'd finish it, and then I'd walk out to the kitchen and refill it from the fridge. Anyhow, I have probably taken a sip out of that bottle, if that, once in the last 3 nights. So I'm sleeping soundly through the night. Still, I think that's going to be one of those stats that is better to look at over an entire month of data and compare it month over month or year over year to last year. A couple of things that I've discovered in terms of using this is, first off, it's important to stay calm when you're doing it. When you're restricting the airflow in, there's a temptation, I think, to abandon it, to feel like you're suffocating or being waterboarded or something, and you want to take it out and just return to your normal breathing. Don't do it. Trust me. Just stay calm, keep a nice, long, continuous breath in and out. You're not going to pass out. You're not going to die. It's all going to work. Just stay calm, control your breathing. That's tip number 1. Tip number 2, kind of keep your head at a little bit of an incline if you can. There is, you're going to drool a little bit. You're going to develop saliva in your mouth, and that saliva is going to get up inside this thing. Unless your head is tilted back just a little bit, just a little. Just don't be leaning forward when you're using this, or yeah, it can start to fill up a little bit. I will do for next week a little segment where I show how I keep mine clean, and you can go to as much or as little effort as you want to, but that will be next week. The other thing that I have found periodically, especially as I've been increasing the tension on this or the breathing difficulty, is I'll get like this back of the sinuses sort of snort, like, like when I'm trying to inhale. I don't know what exactly is the mechanism that causes that, but I find if I'm experiencing it a lot, I'll just plug my nose. I have tried using a nose clip from my son from back in his days of swimming. I found that didn't work real well for me. You really, if you start doing that snort thing, you really need the full out pressure of using your fingers on your nose. So now it's your turn. Let me know, if you've been using the IMST device and doing this exercise along with me, have you experienced any positive results? Let me know down in the comments below. And also, for those of you who are doing different challenges, I'd love to hear how things are going for you, and if you've got any tips or suggestions for people who might want to try your particular challenge in an upcoming month. Also, if you have any questions on IMST that I might be able to answer, let me know that as well, and I will address that in next week's episode. But I think that's going to be it for this week. Pretty quick one. Thanks for watching.